So I figured rather than just stuffing my face with food, I would try to turn this into something a little bit more informative and educational. So today we are going to talk about cheat meals, and right off the bat, I do not like the term cheat meal, only because of the negative connotation that the word cheat has with it. If you cheat in a sport, you're probably not very honest. If you cheat on your boyfriend or girlfriend, you just suck. Don't do that. But you shouldn't really think about food as a negative thing. So if you put a negative label on certain foods, you're kind of losing the battle already, in my opinion. So obviously, some foods are better for you than others, but there aren't too many foods out there that should just be completely off limits all of the time, in my opinion. And I know some people like to refer to them as free meals. The reason I don't like that is because a lot of times I'll go out to these restaurants and that food is never free, although free food is the best food. So the reason we are going to refer to it as a cheat meal is just because when I say that, everyone knows what I'm talking about. Whatever you want to call it, we don't need to argue about the terminology. We all know what I'm referring to. So personally, I follow a flexible dieting approach, which means I can essentially fit any food into my macronutrients, which is all great, right? But I don't care who you are, there's gonna be certain foods that you just can't hit those numbers. I know I have been out to restaurants and easily eaten over 120 grams of fat. So the reason that I think cheat meals get this negative connotation is because people look at them and say, oh, this is what I'm really looking forward to. This is a day I have circled on my calendar where I'm just gonna go eat anything and everything. And the biggest issue with that I see is that you probably don't have a healthy relationship with food. Yes, you should enjoy food. Food should be part of life, but food should not be your entire life. You shouldn't be building your days or your weeks around foods, in my opinion. So if you can just find a healthy balance where you go out and enjoy yourself, and the biggest tip that I give to people is just make it a social thing. And this is gonna be a little bit hypocritical because I'm gonna be eating all alone today, but I also think that you shouldn't be out in public with a camera in front of your friends. You should have friend time, camera time, but anyway.
Guy in front of me just ordered $45 of chicken strips.
Wow. A lot of people really don't care what kind of foods they're putting in their body, so they go out to different restaurants that maybe you would not eat at personally on most days. So maybe just save what you would consider a cheat meal for that. Or if there's something you've really been craving for a long time, go ahead and get it. Don't restrict yourself just because it's not gonna fit within a specific diet. If you do that, I can almost guarantee you that down the line, you're just gonna cheat a lot harder than you would have had you not just had that one thing that was really on your mind. And without a doubt, the question that I always get when I do a food challenge is how long does the weight stay on? I think there's a lot of people out there that like hold on to all these cravings and then wanna go do one of these 15,000 calorie food day challenges. So I really hope that I'm not setting a bad example by making food such a focal point of this channel, because I feel like I do have a healthy relationship with food. I really enjoy it, but I don't let it take over. So the reason that I think so many people ask this question, well, how much weight will I gain, is because they've just been building up, and then one day it's just gonna click and they're gonna go all out and do so much damage. And really, I don't think that's the best way to go about doing things. So to answer the question, when I do those cheat day challenges, yeah, I will gain, I don't know, 6 to 8 pounds. I think 8 pounds was what it was when I did the 15,000 calorie challenge, but it's gone in a week and a half or two. So I tell you that only to say, if you go out and be reasonable and you just have a basic cheat meal over your macronutrients that you would take in on a typical day, the long-term side effects are going to be very minimal in terms of negative side effects. So you might have a lot of positive side effects because you might need to just get it off your mind, or you just have a healthier relationship with food overall. So I don't really want to get into the psychology behind it because honestly I'm not qualified, but I think if you can just, find a nice balance where you take 1 or 2 nights a week and you just go eat whatever you want. It doesn't have to be a whole day. It probably shouldn't be a whole day. Just have 1 meal or 2 meals, and then I think that you're gonna be perfectly fine. And then the rest of the week, get back on track and you'll still be able to hit your goals while going out and enjoying food that you like. So that's about it, guys. I know personally, I would say I don't track macros 2 to 3 times a week, but it's definitely not these all-out cheat days. And even on these days where I show you a ton of food at the end of the day, it's usually because I haven't eaten anything in the beginning of the day like today. Speaking of, I'm really hungry. I've talked long enough. Let's eat.
Any other indecisive eaters out there? If so, I'm sure you can relate with this. I always just drive out here where I know all the restaurants are, and I'm like, oh, I just figure it out when I get there. And then you just end up with some of the weirdest food combinations because I'm not decisive enough to just choose one, so I end up going to 2 places, and then the mixture of foods I have, it's like, why would anyone eat these 2 things together? But I don't know.
Hey, want some chicken today?
I absolutely do want some chicken today.
Sushi and fried chicken, perfectly normal, right? If you don't have Cane's by you, I'm sorry to hear that, but you're not missing out on too much. I feel like it's a little bit overrated, and don't get me wrong, I love chicken tenders, especially theirs, but their chicken tenders are average, but Cane's is genius because what they did is they perfected the Cane's sauce, and that is what keeps people coming back. So I'm going to enjoy this, probably watch a little bit of Netflix. Unfortunately, I'm finished with The League and Friday Night Lights, but I got a few documentaries to get through. How did I forget? I also have the big bowl of vegetables, regardless of what I'm eating that day. And like I mentioned, this is really my first meal of the day. I had a cup of egg beaters earlier, but that's it. So time to make up for lost time. Cane's ended up giving me an extra chicken strip. It is my lucky day. They just moved up in my book. Not eating those guys though. Not a fan. I can't remember what all I got. So I got California roll in here somewhere. I think I got a vegetable roll, spicy tuna, and Philly roll maybe? I can't even remember. All I know is it's a lot of sushi. You know what they say, 30 roll minimum. No amount of sushi can take away the frustration of being a Philadelphia Eagles fan. If your football team sucks this year, I don't feel bad for you because mine sucks every year. What the heck? So here's some cookies left over from a video I made yesterday. The video was very basic video. It looks really good actually.
How did you know? I love this song.
You guys will be seeing it soon. When you guys watch that video in 2 weeks, I think? Yeah, I think I'll be making it public in 2 weeks. I want you to remember these cookies and comment on that video saying I remember the pumpkin cookies. But anyway, I gotta get some more protein in. So what I did was made up some icing here just with the Snickerdoodle protein powder and some Greek yogurt. So I'm gonna ice these cookies up. Probably also going to have, let me see. Sorry, it's too dark over there to see anything, but I'm gonna have one of these Quest bars, help me get a little bit more fiber as well as some added protein. That's all I've been told, so that's what I'm gonna eat. So the icing on the cookies were good, but the icing on the Quest bar, wow. So just gonna have one more thing to end the day. I've gotten plenty of fat. I just want some carbs and protein. And you guys are like family, so I'm gonna share a secret with you, and this might change your life. So what we're gonna have is some Reese Puffs, well, off-brand Reese Puffs, but instead of milk, we're just gonna mix up some peanut butter protein powder, and I'm telling you, mixing peanut butter protein in Reese Puffs, it's unreal. And you can use this really any way you want. So you could just use like a chocolate protein powder in, well, not any type of cereal, like maybe not Lucky Charms or something like that. But if you don't want to use milk, you can just mix up a scoop of protein powder and it tastes so much better because of the sweetness. I love it. So this is what I'm gonna have to end the night, and we are going to finish off the day. Alright guys, that is going to be the end of the video. As far as what macros I hit today, I have no idea, and honestly it hurts my brain just thinking about it. Sometimes it's good to just take a day off. Not that counting macros really impedes on my life at all, but sometimes, you know, I just don't feel like tracking anything like today. So if you enjoyed the video, please give the video a like. That really does help me out a lot. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch, and I'll talk to you guys next time.